Hello friends, this is Ashutosh here. Today we are going to learn about sternoclavicular joint, which is one of the most important joints of the upper limb. So let's start. The first thing we should know here is it is an articulation between the sternal end or medial end of the clavicle and the manubrium of the sternum. As we know, the sternum consists of three parts: manubrium, body, and the xiphoid process. So, this is the manubrium. Now, we should also know that the joint between the manubrium and the body of the sternum is known as sternal angle or manubriosternal joint. So, it is clear. The next thing is, this is the jugular notch. As we all know, it is formed by the superior border of the manubrium of the sternum. The next thing we should know here is, this is the clavicular notch. Yes, this one, where the clavicle puts its sternal head into this notch. So this is the clavicular notch, which is forming a concavity here. And also, there is one more concavity here for the first rib to articulate. And here, the first rib articulates completely. That is very interesting to note here. But the second rib articulates here, in which it articulates or attaches with both the inferior border of the sternum and the superior border of the body. So there are two attachments of the second rib. Now we have completed about the general introduction. So let's move on ahead. The next thing we should know here is the type of it and the variety of it. So the type of sternoclavicular joint is the synovial joint, while the variety is saddle. As we have already learned saddle joint in the thumb, it is somewhat same because it forms the concavo-convex surface here, so as named saddle, which is its variety. Next we come on to the ligaments. Yes, there are three ligaments basically. They are anterior sternoclavicular ligament, which we are able to see here. We can appreciate this. The next is posterior sternoclavicular ligament, which is behind it. Next is costoclavicular. Yes, we can appreciate this. Costoclavicular ligament. This is the costoclavicular ligament. And one more is the interclavicular ligament. The thing to note here is anterior sternoclavicular, posterior sternoclavicular, and costoclavicular ligament. These three of them helps to stabilize the sternoclavicular joint. Means collectively, these three of them. But the interclavicular joint indirectly helps in the stabilization and not directly. So if someone asks about the stability of the sternoclavicular joint, then we should name these three ligaments but not the interclavicular ligament. Next, we move on to the movements. So what not are the movements of it? Let's discuss. The movements are not many because in saddle joint, as we know, it is a biaxial plane. So the first movement is protraction and retraction. Second is the elevation and depression. And the third one is anterior and posterior rotation. So you should be thinking that we have learned that in saddle joint only two planes are involved in the movement. But why is this third coming into play? Or studied this articular disc here. This articular discs makes it to do the third, the movement in the third plane, that is anterior and posterior rotation. So this anterior and posterior rotation is due to the articular disc, which is not as usual present in the saddle joint. So the sternoclavicular joint got that third plane due to this articular disc. So these are some of the movements of the sternoclavicular joint. And one important thing to note here is, inside the joint capsule, I mean to say the sternoclavicular capsule, the joint capsule present over here, we know that between any two bones or any junction between the bones, joint capsule is a must. So inside this capsule, we have this cavities over here. You can appreciate the cavities over here. The two cavities, one is closer to the clavicle while one is closer to the manubrium. So these are the two spaces or cavities which are not of much importance, but we should know it. Next is the blood supply. Yes, the blood supply is very important part of it. The blood supply is by internal thoracic artery and the suprascapular artery. Yes, it is by internal thoracic artery and suprascapular artery. We have learned this in both the arteries in the anastomosis around scapula. Yes, suprascapular artery supplying around the infraspinatus part. Yes, and the internal thoracic artery. This both the arteries are coming from thyrocervical trunk. Yes. Okay. Next comes the nerve supply. So what not is the nerve supply here? Medial supraclavicular nerve and nerve to subclavius. Yes, medial supraclavicular nerve and nerve to subclavius. So this nerve we have learned somewhere. Yes, yes, we have learned this is in brachial plexus. Yes, when we are learning brachial plexus, we have learned Erb's point. So these two nerves are of Erb's point. Yeah, means they are involved in the formation of Erb's point. So just let's just recall about it. What not are the things involved in it? C5, C6 root, then anterior posterior divisions, and then nerve to subclavius and supraclavicular nerve forms the Erb's point. So these are some of the nerves which are supplying the sternoclavicular joint. In applied aspect, we should know that the fracture right at the junction of the medial and lateral part, that is to say medial 2/3 and lateral 1/3, the junction forming between this, the clavicle, is fractured. Apart from this, nothing is much observed. As we have seen this diagram, we can also appreciate this diagram. That is to say, this is the manubrium, this is the clavicle, and they are forming the sternoclavicular joint. Here it is, sternoclavicular joint. And these are the ribs, first rib, this is the second rib, so you can appreciate here. Okay, we want to some more diagrams here. Here is the sternoclavicular joint. Yes, we can appreciate here sternoclavicular joint, which is occupying the superolateral, superomedial and inferolateral part, and this is the articular disc as we have discussed earlier. The one more thing to note here is interclavicular ligament. Yes, this is the ligament which I have discussed, and this is the costoclavicular ligament. Okay, so this is the diagram we can appreciate. One more diagram we can appreciate is the same. This is the anterior sternoclavicular ligament here somewhat. Posterior is behind of it. This is costoclavicular ligament. Yes, costoclavicular ligament. Next is the joint cavity. Yes, here we have discussed the joint cavity. This is the clavicular section. This is the interclavicular ligament between this. This is the joint cavity again, because we have discussed that two joint cavities are there. Here is the articular disc. Yes, articular disc between this, or we can say inside the joint capsule. So we've discussed it earlier. Okay. So let's move on to the next. So whatever we have discussed here, we can see the sternoclavicular joint. The type is synovial joint. Variety is saddle. Articulating surface is sternum and clavicle. Ligaments are anterior sternoclavicular ligament, posterior sternoclavicular ligament, costoclavicular ligament, interclavicular ligament, and I have highlighted this by 3 red stars because these are involved in the stabilization of the sternoclavicular joint. This is involved indirectly. The movements, as we have discussed, protraction, retraction, elevation, depression, anterior and posterior rotation, and this is due to the articular disc. We have also discussed the blood supply, that is to say internal thoracic artery and suprascapular artery. Next comes the nerve supply by medial supraclavicular nerve and nerve to subclavius. The applied here is fracture at the junction at the clavicle is most common, means at the junction of medial 2/3 and lateral 1/3. So here we complete our discussion on the sternoclavicular joint. I hope it helped you a lot. If you have any queries, I like to hear in the comment section. For now, Ashutosh here, signing off.